Here are the notes from the last product research interview. Can you put the feature requests on our backlog? Thanks. Consolidate feature requests. Sure, doesn't look like too much. Okay, well, we don't have that many feature requests backlogged, right? Okay, looks like we have a few.
One of the most annoying parts about building products is consolidating user feedback. And if you're like me, you do what any reasonable builder would do. You build your own Python package. I built a semantic deduplicator to consolidate items using language models, so we could consolidate on an item's meaning, not just its keywords. In this video, I want to show you how it works, and at the end, show you a bunch of examples of it on different domains. Hello, good people. People consolidate items all over the place, not just with product feedback. Sometimes my wife will put, "We need more sparkling water" on the grocery list, but whoops, I don't see it. I come in there later and I put, "We need more bubbly drinks" right below it. These are two items on the list, but they actually should be combined. They mean the same thing, even if the words don't match. Combining items works for groceries, user feedback, employee feedback, surveys, wish lists, comment sections like YouTube and Twitter, Q&A platforms, citizen feedback, reviews, or feedback forms. You see, the problem is that most tools combine items based off of their keywords, or worse, using their exact phrases. With Google Sheets' unique formula, your cells need to be exactly the same, or else it'll think there's two different items there. Other tools do keyword extraction to combine items, but rarely does that match up. When it comes to product feedback, this literally takes teams hours of work to do, and is a huge pain in the butt. I would know. I was the analyst sitting in front of an Excel spreadsheet doing this exact exercise. I decided to build my own package that could take a list of items and semantically dedupe them. You can pip install Semantic Deduplicator if you want to try it out yourself, or visit the GitHub README to check out all the documentation. By the way, I sent this out to email subscribers earlier on. If you want to get direct access to what I'm working on, you can sign up for the email as well. Links in the description. Here's how the package works. The first piece is refactoring. The whole process starts by taking in a raw item from the user, like, "I want dark mode in your app," but I realized I had a problem right away. Users rarely give you feedback in the structure that you needed. I first needed to take the user's feedback and transform it into a format that I could put on my backlog. Using a language model, I can easily turn "I want dark mode in your app" into "implement dark mode." This is a way that me and the rest of the product team can digest it. Part 2, splitting requests. Well, there came my second problem. I quickly found that there might be multiple requests hitting in a single example. For example, "I want dark mode and your app is too slow." This is actually two requests in one: implement dark mode and increase app speed. So I needed to start by splitting those out into individual items and processing those one by one. After a quick break with our sponsor who helps keep this channel running, we're going to see the most important part on how this package works. If you've been following me for a while, you know how much I love easy to set up and out of the box functionality, which is why I want to tell you about today's sponsor, SingleStore. SingleStore powers fast, real-time analytics powered AI applications. The best part? They even have notebooks directly in the browser that you can connect to your database with. When you get logged on to SingleStore, you can get an easy web browser interface, real-time monitoring, and familiar SQL tooling. SingleStore makes it easy to get set up. With up to $600 in free credit when you get started, they have integrations right into LangChain. SingleStore is for anyone who's looking to get started with a no-brainer database solution in order to power their AI applications. It's being used by analytics companies, Fortune 500s, and some of today's biggest consumer apps. That includes dbt for their use of real-time analytics, and Heap, who uses SingleStore as the query layer on top of their customer-facing data systems. SingleStore is the platform for low-latency access to massive data sets. If you're interested in learning more, links in the description. Finally, the key piece is doing the actual deduplication. I used a hybrid approach to process all the data. When we get a new item, step 1 is to see if it's similar to any of our existing items. The first line of defense is comparing the embeddings for that new item with what's already been logged. We do this using cosine similarity through regular top K semantic search. For any of those top candidates that look similar from a cosine similarity perspective, we go to the language model and we say, "Hey, should any of these be combined? Please let us know from a rating of 0, no they shouldn't, to 100, they totally should be combined because they're the exact same thing." If those scores meet a threshold and there actually is two items that should be combined, we'll run a process to bring them together. Let's try this out on a few different domains. First up is on a grocery list. Let's go ahead and let's add our first item to the list. I'm going to do this through sd.add-single-item. We're just going to add some berries to our list. Okay, cool. We added some berries. Well, let's add two more that are actually duplicates of each other. I want to add milk for cereal and milk for drinking. those are actually the same thing, even though they're for different use cases. And I told it that I didn't care on their use cases. So we're going to combine these. And then finally, once that's done, let's check out the actual list that's left with us. We have a duplicated item of berries and a duplicated item of milk. Next up, let's do this again, but this time I want to do a kind of a complicated feature request backlog here. So I'm going to call it Semantic Deduplicator, and I'm going to give it a prompt that says that it's helping me with product features backlogs and going through a bunch of features here. And you know what? I'm going to add a whole bunch of them here. I won't go through all of them, but we have speed up your app. It's tough to find my friends. I want dark mode. I wish there was a darker version of your app. And you can see I also have here, I'm adding single items. And so we're actually adding multiple items at the same time. It's helpful for if you have a list of things you want to input in there. And then I'm also deleting as well. So users have been requesting dark mode. Well, I'm going to semantically delete those from my deduplicated list. And once that's done loading, let's look at our final list here. And let's actually go through this. Please speed up your app. It's very slow. Cool. Increase app speed. It's tough to find my friends on the homepage. Improve friends, totally. I want dark mode. Well, I want dark mode here? It was requested a few times, but the reason is it's not there is because we deleted it at the very end. All right, now we're doing YouTube comments. So you're a bot that is helpful at consolidating YouTube comments. I will review the items later, so separate questions and nice comments. Cool. If the comments are just giving appreciation, consider that the same as the other comments. Makes sense? And so let me start adding these here. I have 3 of them that I don't think will get consolidated. They're pretty distinct, but then these last 2 say, great video. Thanks, Greg. This was really helpful. Fabulous. And let's see what the bot can come up with for us. Great video. Thanks, Greg. Let's see what's really helpful. Let's see what we have here. So getting an error. Okay, cool. How can this system be deployed? Great video. Appreciate Greg for his helpful content. That's really nice. And so it consolidated this last one into a single one, which is really cool. But let's say that I want to check out the originals on this. And so I want to check out item number 2 here, which is the great video. There's the duplicated list, but then I'm going to check out the original input list. And here I get the actual comments that were used beforehand. So I can see what the nuts and the bolts were that combined into this nice comment for us here. If you want to try this package yourself, simply pip install Semantic Deduplicator. Once you create your model, you can give it a quick description or background on what you're trying to consolidate. This goes a long way for helping the language model for what your goals are. Then pass in a few items to deduplicate them. You can check out the code on GitHub, and this project is also completely open source and ready to take any improvements if you have any. I want to give a big shout out to Ryan Brandt, co-founder and CTO of Chat Open Source. He was a big help in making this package more robust. He also wrote an article on testing fine-tuned models in Langsmith. You may want to check it out. Combining lists of items based off their semantic meaning feels like it would have wide-ranging applications. But I'm curious, in what domain would you use this for your own work? Leave me a comment and let me know. By the way, one more plug, email subscribers got this a little bit early, so if you want to join the email list, you can follow along with all my analysis, interviews, and fun projects like this. Links in the description.